The NHL playoffs are here and the wait is over. 3 games start today for round one of the 2026 NHL playoffs. It starts all now. Let's do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to another, or I should say, a special playoff NHL Picks Hockey Special Edition of the Forecheck podcast. It is Saturday morning, 3 game slate on tap for you. The 2026 NHL playoffs are here. Gentlemen, this is what we've been waiting for all season. The time is now. Some of these teams we didn't expect to be here, and some we did. How we all feeling about the 2026 playoffs?
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I don't know if I'm more excited than I was last year, but I just think we've got a chance for a lot of upsets in round number one.
Yeah. How you feeling, Perlo?
Yeah, this is one of the more interesting in the last couple of years. A lot of matchups that are, for like you said, there's really good dog chances here, and that's not often the case in the first round. So it's going to be it's very interesting. A lot of teams that made it that you didn't think were going to make it. Different styles that made it. It's going to be an interesting first round for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. You got some teams out there that are playing evenly, but aren't evenly odd matched in the series. And you got, like
Yeah.
you said, both of you guys said, there is some teams out there that maybe we'll get your guys' takes before we get out of here towards the end about which dog you could see, what your favorite dog is winning a certain series. We definitely got a few close matchups, but like I said, some of the odds are respecting teams heavily. Some of these teams are being respected just based on experience. And, we'll see if that's actually ends up working out because uh, as I don't remember what year it was, the Vegas Golden Knights will tell you the first year, you know, um, making it a far run when you're a new team isn't all that impossible. So, well, like we said, 3 game slate on tap for you today. The first game starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's pretty, for once we get hockey the way we want it, back to back games, not overlapping games. The only thing is we got to wait out the 20-minute intervals. So, outside of that, maybe we can grab some snacks and do some stuff like that. But we might as well get right into it. I know everybody's eager to start. Sorry for running a little bit late. I wanted to make sure I got my bets out so that my subscribers would get my bets before I start giving them to you on here. But we can go ahead and roll right along into it. I will do a short lay of the land on each of these, just if these two teams, any of these teams have seen each other throughout the season this season, and then kind of their little bit of background, and then we can rail out our thoughts on maybe right before we say who we think will win this series, and then we can go with our game one bets. Um, so on the first game, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have the Ottawa Senators on the road plus 125, the Carolina Hurricanes at home minus 150. The over under is set at a flat 6 minus 118 to the over. Ottawa was 41, 27, and 11 on the season, and they were 21, 15, and 5 on the road. Carolina was 53, 22, and 7 on the season, 29, 10, and 2 at home. head to head between these two teams, they had Carolina's won 6 of the last 10. They're an even 500 on over unders. These two teams saw each other 3 times this season. Late January in Ottawa, where Carolina won 4-1. Carolina won the second one 4-3 in Carolina, and then the last one in Ottawa, Ottawa won that one 6-3. So, for me, series wise, I have Carolina in 6. There's also I feel like there's also a possibility it goes 7, and I think if it goes 7, it's going to be a coin flip. Um, so for me, I'm not playing Carolina straight. I do have their money line, or at least for them to win the series, and a as a parlay piece. But if I was going to take them as a straight for some way in a series, I would take Carolina game 1 and for them to win the series. How do you guys? Let's start with Perlo. How do you feel about this series? Where
Um,
did you end up on the series?
I just can't. With Anderson in net, I think Ottawa is just too close to Carolina to give it. I think they're both the two top shot suppression teams in the league. Um, Ottawa has shown that they can shut them down 2 times this year, although they lost the game, but they didn't have Allmark in that. And Allmark has, since he's come back from his little situation, whatever it was, his personal issues, he's looked really good. I can't say that Anderson has looked really good anytime in the year. They've had to outscore him, and I think you're going to have a difficult time doing that against Ottawa. It's a weak link. Anderson is the weak link, but I'm leaning Ottawa to win this series at plus money. I and maybe Carolina will wake up and realize you got to have solid goaltending. I mean, um, to win the Stanley Cup. I know they're an analytics team, and the analytics group, which I am sort of part of. I'm heavy into analytics, but one thing I disagree with them is that you don't have it. Goaltending is your last concern. Carolina is a perfect example of that not being the case. You need it, and I'm not sure they have it here. Ottawa's
Okay.
a bigger team, a more physical team. If it gets down to a physical series, and it's possible they could slow Carolina down by the end here and take it. So I think it would take 7 though. I think it's going to go 7. So
Yeah.
I like Ottawa in 7.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Ottawa's, gonna try to get physical with them, and the double-edged sword is not too sure how many penalties you want to take and put Carolina
Yeah,
on the
that's the
power
thing.
play
Ottawa
where
has a
they,
tendency to take
yeah,
penalties. That's for sure. Yeah.
yeah. JD, how do you feel about this series?
Well, okay, one, I think from a value standpoint, the values with the Ottawa Senators. I was talking to last night with Perlo on his show, and the one thing that caught me off guard was that Ottawa only had one less regulation win this year than Carolina. Uh, 5-on-5, both these teams, I think Carolina was sixth in offense, Ottawa was 10th. Um, when it comes to the goalie situation, you know, on paper, I think I don't. There's really not an edge, but both these goals, whether it's Allmark or whether it's Freddie Anderson, both of them have playoff issues. Allmark has not been a good playoff goalie, so that concerns me from the Ottawa side. And Freddie's just known to let in, one bad goal at the wrong time. So that's why for me the value is there with Carolina. I played the series to go both 6 and 7 at 2-1. Um, didn't pick a winner, just played series to go to 6 and series to go to 7. So that's from
Okay.
a side standpoint. I mean that would be the way I would play this series. Yeah, and that's kind of my mini breakdown on where we're at with these two teams. I don't think that there's a big difference. Now, Perlo mentioned about the physical play of Ottawa, and you mentioned, Dre, that taking penalties is not going to be good. It's not. I mean, the Ottawa Senators ranked 29th on the penalty kill. They can't get in the box. And one of the plays I do have for today is I've got the Canes to score a power play goal It's minus 125. They scored a power play goal in all 3 games against Ottawa. So I'm going to take a chance that that Ottawa will find themselves in the box, and Carolina will take advantage of it.
Yeah. For me, starting to roll into game one and what our looks and leans are on this game one, I think this game one is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be kind of like a feeling out game for the rest of the series. I think they're going to want to play aggressive, but they're also going to play timid and kind of just want to see what the other team's doing. I know they've seen each other a few times already this season, but I'm not going to play a side in a total in this one. I am eyeing a prop, and it's a prop that we all know and been playing for a while here. But Nikolai Ehlers over 1+ assists. I got that at plus 165. Nikolai Ehlers has had 6 assists in his last five and five straight versus Ottawa, and that's at plus 165. So I thought that was good value. Some parlay pieces that I was looking at. Brady to Chuck, 3+ shots on goal. He's covered that in 13 of the last 16 games versus Carolina. Stutzla, 2+ shots on goal. He's covered that in 13 of the last 14 games versus Carolina. That's a minus. Both of those are minus 165. So those are both parlay pieces. Nikolai Ehlers to have 1+ points. That's minus 120 over a Hard Rock. He's had a point in 9 straight and 15 points in those 9. So he's had quite a bit of points versus
But are you
Ottawa.
talking about? So are you going to play the point and the assist, or would you play the
No,
assist
I'm
and a goal?
I'm just playing the assist. I'm just gonna play the
Got it.
assist. I think it was 5 straight. He hasn't had a goal, but prior to that, when he was playing for Winnipeg, he had 5 straight goals before that. So he's on a 5-game drought, but he had 5 straight before that. And then Stankoven, 2+ shots on goal. He's had 3+ shots on goal in 3 of the last 4 games versus Ottawa, and he's also covered that in 12 of the last 14 and in 5 straight overall. So, and that's minus 145. So I think those are all good, but like I said, I'm just gonna take the Nikolai Ehlers assist. And then as far as the series parlay, I have Carolina to win the series, parlayed with
Hmm.
Minnesota and Dallas over 5.5 goals. I got that at plus, or I'm
Five and a
sorry,
half
over
games.
5.5 games. And I got that at
Got
plus
it.
133 on FanDuel. So, Perlo, how do you see this game one?
Well, first of all, I also have the 6 and 7 in this game too. Same as JD. I have in 6 and 7. Bigger
Okay.
bet than Ottawa bet because Ottawa. This is gonna be tough. This game, it's really really hard to go against Carolina in the first period at home. Uh, if you, but I don't know if I like it puck line, so I'm probably gonna. I'm probably just gonna lay off here. I mean, this Carolina is yeah okay. Ottawa did do a really good job against Carolina, apart from goaltending in the regular season in those games. But I mean, I'm sure Brendan Moore's in the got the chalk out, and they're looking at everything that happened in those 2 games, and you could see some adjustments. So I think it's too tough here too. If I were to take anybody, I would just take Ottawa. They need if they can get this first win, it's going to be absolutely huge at the plus money. And I don't mind a draw here. I don't mind a draw. I kind of like the draw first period, to tell you the honest truth. If if one team does score, the other team's going to come right back, and I could see a really good. I could make a really good case that nobody scores in this first period. So that's plus 160, plus 165, I think it is that you can get draw first period. I don't play them often, but I might put a little smidge on this. Like you said, they might feel each other out in the first period. Tommy's body limit's the best there. I said it, and yeah, so that's I probably my favorite if game bet would be that. I don't want to take goalie props because they're both good shot suppression teams. Normally I would take Allmark over saves, but like I said, if Ottawa can do what they've done in the past, that's not going to work out too well. So that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take. I think I like that draw first period more than anything.
JD, how do you see game one
Yeah,
here?
I'm big on the under 6.5 in this game. That's my biggest play. I went back and through Carolina's last couple of years under Brindamore, and they're 12-5 to the under in game one under Brindamore.
Oh yeah, you said that
12,
last
well,
night.
I'm sorry, 12 of the 17 have had 6 goals or less. So I grabbed under 6.5 minus 135, just to be clear. And game ones, I mean, overall have been good for Carolina. Uh, from a winning standpoint, they've won 7 of their last 9 game ones. I didn't touch the side. When it comes to props, I mean, look, my two big series props are Drake Batherson and Svechnikov to lead the series in goals. Both of them, Batherson's got 5 goals in 11 games against Olmark, and Svechnikov's got 5 goals in 9 games against Freddie. So I'm on those guys for a goal. I'm with you on the Ehlers assist. I did a Stützle Batherson point parlay at plus 124. And then I grabbed individually Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven to each earn a point, pick up a point at plus money. So I tried parlaying them, but it was the odds were just wasn't worth it. It was less when you combine their plus 120 and plus 125. I think you were getting like plus 209. So like it's like, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, for me again, the biggest play, I love the under 6.5.
Okay. Well, we can keep it moving right along. Lando says Stankoven has scored at least once in 5 of the last 6 Hurricane games as a favorite. Yeah, I think he's been doing great there on that second line with his line mates. But we can keep
Yeah,
it
Him
moving
and
right.
Blake,
I
that
was
line's
looking at that
been a
too,
really
but I'd be a little bit cautious because those last 5, 6 games, the opposition wasn't really grinding it down there. For you got get little guys like him, Stankoven, the Savoy picks. Like a lot, there's going to be people all over Savoy. This isn't going to be the same as the last 5, 6 games. You got to be. I'd be a little bit cautious on that.
I'm sorry, you said Savoy? What was that?
There's a lot of people all over Savoy because you got 5. He's on a heater right now. So they're
Well,
on
he's
him for
playing
the
with McDavid.
series.
He's playing with McDavid and Hyman. I mean,
If
it's
he
not.
stay, if he stays there, I'm not sure he's
He's
going to
staying
stay
there.
there.
Yeah, he's staying
Well,
there.
oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
We'll
he
see.
he was there at practice yesterday.
No, he's staying there for one game. Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
Okay,
I think it's possible he doesn't stay there for the series. There's people taking him for series plays. First game, yeah, sure, what the heck,
okay.
but a lot of people are all over him for series plays. We'll see. Against Anaheim, he may be able to hold on there, but if it, other maybe we'll see.
Okay. Second game for the evening is the I think this is 2:45 start. Is that what I
Yeah, 2:45 Pacific,
Yep.
5:45, 5:30 Eastern time, or 5:45, 5:30
Okay.
Eastern, 2:30 Pacific.
We got the Minnesota Wild on the road plus 100. Dallas Stars at home minus 120. Over under is set at a flat 6, slightly juiced to the under minus 120. Minnesota is 46, 24, and 12 on the season, 23, 14, and 4 on the road. Dallas is 50, 20, and 12 on the season, 26, 11, and 4. At home, head to head between these two teams, Dallas has won 6 of the last 10. 6 of those 10 have trended to the under. These two teams have seen each other 4 times this season, and they split the wins. Dallas won the first one, Minnesota won second and the third one, and then most recently, Dallas won that last one 5-4 in Dallas. Um, looking at series wise in this, I actually have Dallas to win this series at minus 120. I took that a day or two ago. I just think, I think it's going to come down to Ottinger. Ottinger, he's lost back to back playoff series. Both of the times I think it was against Jari, right, in the Edmonton Oilers. That's not a good record to have, especially when it's Jari. But, Ottinger's proven to be a good goaltender during the season. He's going to have to prove it here to be a good goalie in the offseason or in the playoff season. So I think, Dallas is going to end up grinding out a win here. Um, I just think this could go 6 or 7. I definitely think that, and that's why I have the over 5.5 games parlayed with Carolina in this one. Um, I think Rantanen had a very good big season last year, playoff season last year. He's gonna have to do that again. You got Hints that's gonna be out for a couple games, possibly. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a grind out battle, but I think Dallas comes out on top. JD, how do you feel in this one for the series?
Yeah, I gotta say for me, look, I'm not a big Jake Ottinger fan, but at the same token, I think there's more question in the Wild net. They made somewhat of a surprise move by going with Jesper Wallstedt instead of Philip Gustafson. I mean, Wallstedt's numbers far better down the stretch, so understandable. But he hasn't been in the playoffs before, so I think that there are questions more so. I think on the Dallas or I mean, on the Minnesota side when it comes to goaltending. For me, look, the big question still is I can't do a lot with this game or well, we don't know Quinn Hughes' official status. Hines said that we expect him to play, but that doesn't mean he will play. And Hughes did not travel with the team. He hasn't been around the team since last Saturday after they beat Nashville. It's a week off the ice. He's been dealing with an illness, so even if he plays today, where's he at? So that's just a concern for me for today's game specifically. I didn't. I'm trying to think of what I did here with my play for the series here. I just want to pull that back up. I mean, I've got the series. I played both the series to go to 6 and 7, and then I also did what I jumped on the Alex B special. Oh, no, I didn't do that for this game. Never mind. Never mind. So I just played 6 and 7. Uh, so that's kind of where I'm looking at it with this series here. Um, I'll tell you, I do like the draw today. Uh, last season Dallas didn't play any draws in the opening round, but prior to last season, 5 of their last 6, including a game against Minnesota, did go to overtime. So I think the draw at plus 320 is live. I think we're gonna have a tight series. So, um, and then when it comes to props, uh, I'm all over Robertson and Kirill Kaprizov. Uh, Robertson's got 14 goals in 19 games against the Wild in his career, and he's got 3 this year. And Kaprizov's got 9 goals in 12 games against Ottinger. Um, also slid in. I also split a half a unit between Maverick Bork goal and an assist. Um, and then I did a parlay: Kaprizov, Boldy, Wyatt, and Robertson all to get a point. Half unit play at plus 850. Thought that seemed reasonable.
Yeah,
I've also and then lastly, both teams to score 2 in this one. Both teams to score 2 in the Flyers game at plus 134.
I like that. I think that Flyers and Pittsburgh game is probably the only game that I would even eye to look for an over on today's slate. So, Perlo, how do you feel about the series and game one?
Well, I was really taking a look at Minnesota, and then I started after JD left. I just started doing rundowns of each team last night on the show, and the more I look at this Minnesota team, I don't think. Yeah, I went and took Dallas to win the series at minus 120. I just think there's depth issues here. Hartman's overmatched on that top line, and that Urov, Trent, and Tarasenko line just gives me the creeps. I like Urov. I think he's going to be a great player, but he's very young and he's never did this before. And Yakov Trenton's playing over his head on that line, and Vladimir Tarasenko doesn't do much in the bottom 6. So pretty tough line to be going up against a lot of these Dallas stars. So the Dallas players, they could easily get overmatched there. With that being said, in this game, I hope that the score two, both the score two is ends up being 3-2 because I've got no goals first five and under 6.5. This is Falstat getting his first opportunity here. I really think that I get vibes from Volstat that I don't think that he's going to be all starry eyed playing in the playoffs here. He's a great he's a great goaltender. I'm glad they went with him. It almost had me thinking Minnesota might be able to take this, but like I said, when I went over it, I just uh, Ottinger's too good. They can match up that way, but I think this is going to be a low scoring series all the way around. It's going to be
Yeah.
tough for Minnesota to penetrate that, especially with Heiskanen in that collapsed defense. Like if I'm Minnesota, what I'd be doing in these first games is I'm putting it back to the point, and I'm just like giving it to Faber, and I'm just crushing like ankle high, waist high, just keep on pounding it, pounding it, pounding it, just nailing these guys. Not even like if you score, you score, but I really want to soften them up to the idea that we're going to blast it from the point of you guys. If you're going to collapse like this over and over again and try to maybe get some get Hartman in front, all of those sort of things. I think that's the way they got to beat them here because they're so tough. It's tough to beat Ottinger from outside, and they know it, and that's the reason why they do that. They collapse like that, and also that's just Gullickson has always been like that. He's always taught his teams that way. So um, that's what I'd be doing. We'll
Okay.
see how what they decide to do, but this first game. Uh, I'm just like these first games. I'm just kind of watch and see how things run out. I would consider if you're gonna go Minnesota, taking the first period. Um, Dallas has been known for some slow starts, so take them first period and then maybe take Dallas to come back and win the game.
Okay. For me, I already gave you guys my series lean, but as far as game one, I do agree with JD with Robo and Kirill. You know, Robo's had 4 goals in his last 5 verses and a goal, at least a goal in 4 of those 5 overall. Kirill's had a goal in 3 of the last 4, and then 4 total in those 3. So, but I do have a 2-unit bet. This will be my first 2-unit bet of the NHL season in this game. Vladimir Tarasenko over 1.5 shots. It's
Mm.
minus 130 on a lot of books, but on Bet Rivers and Bally Bet, you can get that at minus 106. Thought that was
Oh
great
wow.
value. He's covered that in 16 of the last 20 games overall, and he's covered that in 5 of the last 6 games versus Dallas. So over one
So
and
what
a
was that
half,
number there, Dre? What was that
minus
over
106 on Bet Rivers or
over
Bally
one and
Bet
a half?
over 1.5. So
Okay,
16 of the
I have
last
that.
20. I really like that. Also, Erickson Eck over 2.5 shots. That's minus 119. He's covered that in 9 of the last 11. So versus Dallas. So I do like that one as well. Those are 2 playable straights for me. I am on Vladimir Tarasenko for sure, though, for a 2-unit bet. Um, and that'll probably be my only bet in this game for game one, unless I get to Eck. But I think, especially if Dallas is leading or you have the thought that Dallas is going to win this game, Minnesota should be shooting a lot more if they are trailing. So it kind of fits my game outlook there. Okay, we can
One
keep
other
it.
thing that I did
Go
that
ahead.
I did jump on his I did it also sprinkle on Robertson to score the first Dallas goal. He's done it in 2 of the 3 games this year, but both games he did it, they were in Minnesota. Um, but I just figured I'd be kicking myself if I didn't, little pizza money on him to score first. Once I'm already playing him for an anytime goal. So
Okay.
uh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, win in Rome. Why not? Okay. And the evening game, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the Philadelphia Flyers on the road and a plus 125 number. Pittsburgh at home minus 150. Over under is set at a flat 6 minus 120. Philly is 34 27 and 12 on the season, 23 14 and 4 on the road. Pittsburgh 41 25 and 16 on the season, 2013 and 8 at home. Head to head between these two teams. Pittsburgh's won 6 of the last 10. 7 of those 10 have trended to the over. These two teams have seen each other 4 times this season. Same as last time. Philly won the first one. Pittsburgh won game 2 and 3, and then most recently, uh, the Flyers won 4-3 in a shootout on March 7th. Looking at this series, I think this is one of the closer series in the playoffs this season. I think Philly's probably got a fighter's chance to win this one. I do think I think Pittsburgh probably ends up pulling it out. This is one that I am going with experience on. But Vladar has been amazing coming into the end of the season here. I think they could give Pittsburgh a run for their money. We've talked about Pittsburgh this season, about them holding leads and being put in positions where they're needing to win. And then Pittsburgh be up 3-0. We all know this in the season, and then they end up losing 4-3. So if they can figure that out, I think they'll end up pulling this one out. I mean, you got Crosby, Carlson, Malkin, all that experience. I think they can grind uh, and end up winning this series. But JD, how do you feel on this series?
So this is one I talked about it last night again with Perlo, where last year the first round, 32 of the 47 games were decided by 2 goals or more. I'm going to grab both teams to win on the puck line, but in the case of Philadelphia being the dog, I'll take them on the reverse puck line. I got that at minus 285, and take the Penguins minus 1.5. You can get that at about minus 165, plus 165, plus 170. I would also lean to over 6 at minus 120. I mean, we know Pittsburgh's an over machine. Um, so, and I didn't play a side in this one here, but I think, though, that if you do like Pittsburgh, then I would go with their team total, which, was they had cashed that in 38 of their 41 victories this year. So I would, if you like Pittsburgh, I'm just staying away from the side here. I do, but yeah, I'm on the over. Um, I know it's been a long time. It's been a couple of years since these teams, uh, 8 years to be exact, met in the playoffs against each other. But Crosby's got, what is it now, 15 goals in 23 games against the Flyers. Uh, so I did grab him for an anytime goal. And again, it's been 8 years. I also did grab pizza money. Sean Couturier, 8 goals in 11 playoff games against the Flyers. I know he's down on the fourth line. His situation's a little different, but at plus 550, I thought that was worth it. Um, I did a Zegras assist, Tippett, Martone point parlay at plus 360, and I grabbed Malkin and Raquel for a point parlay at plus 102. Um, and I also grabbed the Martone goal at plus 275. I mean, I've got Martone and Tippett both to lead the series in goals. Um, Martone or Tippett was 9-1 and Martone was 22-1. And I like Martone for over 1.5 shots. I think Perlo, you text me that last night, right? About Martone over 1.5 shots every game.
Forster, Firster,
Oh,
over one and a
oh,
half
you did
shots.
Forster.
Plus,
Okay, I did
plus
Martone. Never
800.
mind.
Plus
Never
800.
mind.
I don't mind the Martone, but it's plus 205. So I don't mind Martone, um, but it's plus 205. It's gonna be interesting to see what the kid does in the playoffs again. And now Porter Martone, they were playing. He came in last 10 games of the season, not very intense games. You get too crazy with this kid yet. This is gonna be a little different. But Forster, I trust. That guy will get inside and he'll get his shots. Wouldn't be two every game for him. I think is pretty safe at plus 800. It's at least a good value bet. So I have that one.
And how do you
Um,
feel on the series? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I got a smidge on Philly before the series starts, but just stylistically speaking, but I mean, Pittsburgh's a very sly team. I could see them changing their game up a little bit. A lot of people I know, like series history, they're overs, but they haven't played in the playoffs, right? In a while, certainly not against each other.
8 years.
Honestly, if it's going to be an over series, then I'm probably Pittsburgh's probably going to win it. That's what it comes down to. Somehow Philadelphia's got to get some unders in this series, and that's what it really comes down to. Because if it's ever going back and forth, Pittsburgh's going to probably win. Philly's just not a high scoring team, and they win most of their games uh, by shot suppression and great goaltending and solid D. So if it's going to be an over series, it's probably going to be Pittsburgh. And if I see that Pittsburgh is doing their quick passing and they're breaking out, they start, their X's and O's come out and realize that we can break the system for Philly, then I'm probably going to start betting Pittsburgh for the series if Philly gets tied or something like that. But right now, I'm just going to leave it as I don't like taking teams that play like they did in the regular season to win series. It's just not playoff hockey. But Crosby, Malkin, I mean, adjustments can happen. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen here. I do like that Forster over 1.5 shots. And in this game, I think I'm going to um, in this game, like I said, I think I'm just going to play it live. I got to see how this is all going to play out here. This is a tough one. I'm mostly going to play it live.
Okay. I
Eight,
mean, so
eight of
for
the
me,
last,
go ahead.
by the way, guys, 8 of the last 12 Flyers games had at least 6 goals,
Okay.
combined goals. Just so it
Yeah.
for me, 6.5 is, I wouldn't do, but I can get behind the 6.
Yeah. The
I
two
would only
plays.
play the over in this first game for sure, but like I
Yeah.
said, I want to see how these guys teams are gonna adjust to each other.
Yeah. For me in this game one, I do have one official play so far, but there is two other plays that I am looking at possibly getting on, and one is the over, which you guys also like, the over flat 6. And then the other one is Crosby over 2.5 shots on goal. It's like plus 140, 135. He's averaged over 3+ shots on goal in his last two playoff series. So I think 2.5 is a good number. And then one play that I do have is Michnikov and Crosby 2+
Mishkov.
shots. Michkov, 2+ shots on goal. Crosby, 2+ shots on goal, plus 124. I do like that. And then I also like Raquel and Zegras, 2+ shots. That was, I think, minus 110. So I do also like Forster, 2+ shots on goal. I think that was minus 135. I did not play Michkov straight because that was minus 145. But yeah, those are the only official play I have is that 2-leg parlay, and then I did a long 5-leg parlay, which I guess I can give you guys real quick, which is I used the DK boost that they are offering today, and it is Stutzla 2+ shots, Logan Stakehoven 2+ shots, Zegras 2+ shots, Raquel 2+ shots, Joel Eriksson Ek 2+ shots. That is plus 555 on DraftKings, and I am risking 1 unit. So Stutzla and Stankoven, they both have really good numbers against each other, and as of late, and same thing for Zegras, Raquel, and then Joel Eriksson Ek, like I had said, he had covered quite a bit straight, and that's just a dumbed down number of 2. So I really like those plays. Um, and then we'll see if we get to anything else. But like I said, I have just a few in today's games. I do have those series bets, and yeah, so that is your 3 game slate for the first round of the NHL playoffs for Saturday, April 18th. And we will be back on tomorrow morning doing the same thing for the other games. There's 4 games tomorrow, correct? 4 games tomorrow
Four
for
games
Sunday.
tomorrow. First game starts at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so we will be back same time, 7:15, 7:20, 10:20 Eastern. Perla, will you be on your channel this evening? Or are you gonna
Um, yeah, I'll probably I promised I would do the rundowns on the remaining teams. So yeah, I'll probably go on by myself and just do a rundown
oh,
of each team, and
okay, if
then
I'm available, I'll try
it'll
to
be
hop
short.
on.
It'll be short. I won't be doing picks for the following day. I'll do that
Okay.
on. I'll save that for the show on Sunday morning.
Okay. So we can definitely do that. And then as far as tomorrow, like I said, we will be on in the morning, and then we'll be on in the evening on Perlo's show on channel to run down the games for Monday
Yeah.
night. So um and Monday, uh I don't know. I'll let you know if I'm gonna be on Monday night. I'm not sure if I will be. It's my anniversary. So we may be
Ooh,
doing something.
Oh,
25
you will
years,
definitely
man.
not be on Monday. Not if we'll have a
25
third
25
years.
years.
anniversary.
It's the good
25
25.
years.
25
Just
Oh
years.
wow!
So,
Congratulations.
tell her she has a big surprise and just bring her on the show. There you go. Happy anniversary, honey.
yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
have fun. I'll don't be coming on the show on your anniversary.
Yeah.
That's advice
Yeah.
from someone who's uh, on their third marriage.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, thank you guys for everybody for tuning in. You can find me over on X, Instagram, YouTube at Exotic. Oh, and Twitch at Exotic Wagers with a Z. You can also find the Legacy Sports Discord link in any of my bios to get all of my official plays for free. You can find Perlo over where he's going to tell you right this second.
Yeah, Perlo's NHL POW. Top of my profile. It's pinned there. Got what, another. How long do you have? That's it.
Oh,
It's
you
like you
got
don't have any time.
4 hours. 4 hours.
You have 4 hours to get in on VIP picks. Swag is like crushed yesterday. Well, not crushed. It was 4-2 yesterday on baseball. We got baseball picks over there. Of course, you get all the hockey picks for a calendar year. Premium plays, which gives you the my premium saves props, which are hitting at 74%. Just that alone is great value. It's only $80 for a calendar year for that, and $50 for VIP, which you get all the other picks. And if you also have the premium, you get all my other picks as well for $50 a year. That's done in 4 hours. So head over there, grab it, and I'll see you over on Winnable. Um, yeah,
Okay.
that's good. See you tonight, and
And,
enjoy the games, my friends. Enjoy the games.
Mhm.
and JD, tell him all the great work you do over at Veasan.
Oh, I don't do any great work. No, I'll have my column up a little later today on VSiN, probably right around 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'll post my plays for the first game though, just on Twitter. Uh, and then this weekend, I'm on VSiN Sunday night, I think at 9:30 p.m. Pacific. Monday's a big day. Monday, well, actually, no, Monday I'm on NHL Network Radio at noon Eastern, and then I'm on VSiN on their Prop Point show at I think 1 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, the return of Ice Cap, the NHL Network Radio post game show. So I'll be back
Nice.
on Sirius XM following the games Tuesday and Wednesday night. And so I'll be with you guys Monday, and then possibly Thursday. I'm not sure because Thursday's game one of LA and or I'm sorry, game three of LA and Colorado, and I'll be at Crypto for that. And then I got my son coming into town, and I'm taking him to Vegas next, a week today, we're off to Vegas. So, and unfortunately, no, the Knights are not in town. So we're going to be
Yeah.
slumming it in the sports book watching games.
Nice. At least you're getting out there before the heat gets there. I always end up
Yeah.
there in the
So,
summer. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the golf or the low
Circa
rates.
last year had an amazing deal, Dre, at for during the summer.
Mhm.
You got 2 nights, a day bed at Stadium Swim, and a bunch of other shit for like it was maybe $300 for the weekend,
Wow,
all
that's good.
included.
Yeah, that's
So
really
yeah,
good.
it was a great deal. I'm interested to see if they do that again. So all right,
Yeah.
everybody, good luck
Okay.
today, and let's make some money.
Yep. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for tuning
One
in.
thing I just
Go ahead.
one pick here I just noticed Wallstat at 22 and a half saves. Dallas is a little bit low volume, but Minnesota gives up a lot, and I think that's going to be a tight game. I definitely that seems like a low number to me. So Volstad over 22 and a half saves.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. That does seem like a low number, but I do agree with you that Dallas is also a low volume shooting team, but in the playoffs, that could change. So I definitely thank you guys all for tuning in, all 55 of you for Saturday morning being up early with us. We will be back tomorrow, 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time, right back on this channel. For Perlo and JD, I am Dre Exotic Wagers. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you. Peace.